can't fail the American people again.
President Joe Biden wants action on gun violence and is putting the pressure on Congress to act after several mass shootings.
The Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute.
Colorado gas prices inch closer to $5 a gallon. The things you can do to save money as prices continue to rise.
Be open-minded about how you get around.
Plus, it's a sign Colorado's housing market might be cooling off.
You can now be a little bit more patient.
And the Avs take a commanding lead in the Western Conference Finals.
Here is Manson with the drive. He scores!
They get a shutout win thanks to their backup goalie.
Look poised, calm, really confident.
My fellow Americans, enough. Enough. It's time for each of us to do our part.
President Joe Biden is telling Americans and lawmakers something needs to be done about gun violence. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. The president wants Congress to act following multiple mass shootings in recent weeks. Rena Roy reports on the measures he wants passed.
With a row of illuminated candles behind him representing all U.S. states and territories, President Biden making an emotional plea for action in a primetime address Thursday night.
It's time to act, for God's sake. How much more carnage are we willing to accept?
The president calling on Congress to pass red flag and safe storage laws and strengthen background checks. He also wants to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. And if not, he says the age to buy them should be raised from 18 to 21. He's also hoping to see more mental health resources across the country.
After Columbine, after Sandy Hook, after Charleston, after Orlando, after Las Vegas, after Parkland, nothing has been done. This time that can't be true.
Bipartisan talks on new gun laws are underway, but the president knows passing gun reform legislation is not easy.
And if Congress fails, I believe this time a majority of the American people won't give up either. I believe the majority of you will act to turn your outrage into making this issue central to your vote.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tweeting saying he stands ready to work across the aisle to find common ground. This after consecutive mass shootings in recent weeks. In Buffalo, New York, 10 black people were killed at a supermarket in what authorities believe was a racially motivated attack. Then at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, 19 children and 2 teachers shot dead. The latest on Wednesday in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Authorities say 4 people were shot dead at a medical facility by a disgruntled patient targeting a doctor.
A lot of the gun control reforms the president has called for were passed last night by the House Judiciary Committee and will go to the full House next week, but there's very little chance it will pass in the Senate. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, following high-profile mass shootings like we've seen in recent weeks, there tends to be spikes in both gun sales and in trainings. Jacqueline Clark, the owner of Bristlecone Shooting, Training, and Retail in Lakewood, tells Denver 7 her store alone has seen a 60% jump this week in enrollment for its concealed carry training courses. Now, this is part of a trend researchers have seen for years now. Take a look at this graph from the Brookings Institute. It analyzes FBI data on background checks for firearms sales across the country and after the mass shootings in Sandy Hook, San Bernardino, and Parkland, as well as the unrest during the pandemic. Levels were much higher than normal.
I think it's because people are observing what's happening and thinking about, well, what if that was me? What if that was my kids? We're always happy to see them going after the training. That shows that they want to be educated and do it the right way.
The Denver City Council has proclaimed today as Gun Violence Awareness Day. The effort encourages people to wear orange this weekend to honor victims and survivors of gun violence. The city says of the nearly 100 people killed in homicides last year, 85% of them were shot. Denver activists are giving away gun locks at an event raising awareness about gun violence. It starts at 6 at the Montbello Rec Center. Well, the man charged with murdering and kidnapping a Longmont woman will be sentenced today. Juan Figueroa is set to plead guilty to murdering Rita Gutierrez Garcia. She went missing in 2018 and her remains were found near Longmont last month. Figueroa is already serving a 93-year sentence in connection to a separate attempted murder and sex assault case. Stephen Pankey will be in court this afternoon. He has a status hearing to see if he'll have an attorney to represent him in a second murder trial. He's accused of kidnapping and killing 12-year-old Janelle Matthews. A judge declared a mistrial last year after jurors couldn't reach a verdict. Hopefully you filled up your gas tank this morning. Prices in the metro went up 6 cents overnight. Our prices are averaging close to $4.50 a gallon. Prices have gone up nearly 50 cents in just the past month. And prices are even higher in the high country and western Colorado. Someone sent us this video of regular gas for $5.59 in Aspen. Now, those higher prices, of course, mean more of your money is going to fill up your gas tank. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon has some ways to save money.
Gas prices at the Sinclair off of South Colorado Boulevard almost at $4.80. And with prices like that, it's hard not to think, how else can I get around, especially without a car? One way might be carpooling with people you've never met. The city has a program called the Way to Go program. It helps people find more eco-friendly ways to get around, like finding the best bus route that would fit your life, riding a bicycle and what route you could do for that, or walking if it makes sense. But they also offer matching for a carpool service. Their best advice for saving money is to be open-minded when it comes to how we get around, since they see two big problems that come from a city so dependent on cars.
Traffic congestion and air pollution. Air pollution is not good for our health. Traffic congestion is not good for our mental health. Nobody moves to Denver because they want to sit in traffic. They want to get to their destination and have fun.
If carpooling's not for you, you might want to look at how your car is doing or change the way you drive. For instance, Gas Buddies says that good tire inflation, that could extend your mileage by up to 3%, and avoiding quick braking or quick acceleration, that could extend it by up to 33%, which is huge when you're seeing prices like this right now. But if you are interested in the carpooling option or in finding a good bus route or bicycle route for you to get to work, you can go to waytogo.org. In Denver, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
All right, Colette, thank you. Now let's talk some good news. Colorado's housing prices have dropped. It's a sign that the housing market might be cooling off, but doing so slowly. The Denver Metro Association of Realtors says prices dropped only slightly, just 1% from April to May. But it is still expensive to buy a home. The average price is nearly $715,000. It's still up 15% from a year ago. Active listings also went up 14% from April, and nearly 80% from a year ago.
We saw a little bit increase in supply, which is normal for this time of the season. We saw a little increase in close sale, and we even saw a little decrease in prices. But overall, with the economy being a little more unstable and inflation and all these other factors, once again, housing is a very stable factor in the community.
Andrew Abrams says if you want to buy, you may not have to give up your appraisal rights and inspection rights. You may also not have as much competition to buy a home. But rent prices are going up across the metro if you can't afford to buy a home or if you're choosing not to. We checked a rent.com report. It found the average studio apartment in Denver is $1,700 a month. That's up 6% in the last year. Denver neighborhoods like City Park West, Berkeley, and Spear are driving up prices. Arvada, Westminster, Lakewood, and Aurora are areas that are a little bit more affordable. More money is coming for Colorado to fight wildfires. Governor Jared Polis signed several bills into law this morning, which will allow for more resources for volunteer firefighters and wildfire mitigation efforts. He also signed bills for more child mental health programs and one banning the use of PFAS or forever chemicals in certain products. Governor Polis also signed the Daylight Saving Time year-round bill into law yesterday. Now, two things need to happen to make that change permanent. First, a federal law needs to be enacted to allow states the option to be locked into daylight saving. The Senate unanimously approved the measure. No action has been taken on a similar one in the House. And at least 4 other states in Mountain Time also have to join in. Montana, Wyoming, and Utah have all adopted lock the clock bills.
They're all on their feet here, guys. The Frankie chants are going.
That was awesome. Avs fans at Ball Arena gave backup goalie Pavel Francouz a standing ovation after last night's shutout win against the Oilers. Frankie stopped all 24 shots on goal in the Avs' 4-0 win. He's celebrating his birthday today. He got the start because starting goalie Darcy Kemper was out with an injury.
What helped me was the way our team played tonight since the first seconds, and I knew they'll help me a lot. So that made me more calm, and I could just focus on my play.
Now, after the game, Bednar head coach Jared Bednar, that is, wouldn't say which goalie will get the start tomorrow night.
We'll evaluate the game and we'll talk to Darcy and Frankie, and then we'll make our decision.
Oh, look at that smirk, though. Games 3 and 4 are in Edmonton. Game 3 is at 6 tomorrow night. Game 4 is Monday night. You know, the team may be headed to Canada, but you can watch the next 2 Avs games at Ball Arena. The arena is hosting watch parties for Games 3 and 4. All tickets are just $10. The Rockies, meanwhile, will wear their new City Connect uniforms tomorrow. That's right, the license plate unis getting the first go-around at Coors Field. Those uniforms, green and white, have that 5280 patch to celebrate Denver's nickname. The Rockies will wear them for Sunday home games for the rest of the season. Scammers are targeting people investing in cryptocurrency. What you need to know so you don't get ripped off. And we'll introduce you to a Colorado kid who's bringing bright colors to his neighborhood while making some extra cash.